At this time, my children's school is closed until at least mid-April, and I have to work from home, so this leaves me with a couple of options. Option number one, I could give each of my children a box of cereal, a stack of books, send them to their room, close the door, go into my office, focus on working remotely and managing a startup.
All right, I'll see you after school.
Now, this has pros and cons. However, when I did a Google search for best practices, it didn't turn up very many results, so I didn't really pursue that course much further. Also, my wife said no. Option number two, I used to be a high school teacher. I know what a teacher does. I could print out some exam prep, get my kids doing some multiple choice practice, maybe write a few essays, get on the College Board website, print out some exam review.
Just bubble in your answers, and I'll give you 30 minutes.
What does that mean?
The only problem is going over all those exams and grading the multiple choice. I don't really have a lot of time for that. Also, my children can't read that well.
I can't read.
So decided to steer away from that one. Clearly, neither of these options is ideal, but I'm an engineer. I can build a solution that will satisfy both my needs. Also, an announcement, my children will be appearing in this video, and for anybody who is a friend of my wife, I need you to know that I take full responsibility for all hairstyles and outfits my kids are wearing. And on day 2 of homeschooling, it turns out I did the hairstyles myself.
Turn around. You should like to do it.
So, the Department of Education put together a committee for overseeing and providing guidance for parents who are homeschooling during the coronavirus pandemic. I personally met with the members of this committee. If by the Department of Education, I mean the Department of Education of the state of my house.
In my school, you put your backpacks next to the wall, and then once it's time to go inside, you pick them up and put it.
And then when you sit down and you say Pledge of Allegiance.
Thus informed by the protocols and expectations of a kindergarten classroom provided for me by the Department of Education of the state of my house, I sent the kids to bed and I set to work putting together a schedule that was well structured and would closely resemble what my students, my children, were already familiar with. This experience would include a behavioral reward system, a fair process for the delegation of certain duties, and a well-planned schedule appropriating for kindergarten essentials such as nap time, snack time, and cleanup time. Notably, this schedule would also accommodate me with some self-guided activities such as craft time, silent reading time, where I could conveniently sit nearby with a laptop and get on some calls or do a little programming. So I will show you what I came up with, and I will put a link in the description. And you might not be aware of this, but you can actually like a video before it is finished, so why not go ahead and give it a thumbs up right now. So before hitting the hay, I took the fruits of my labor down to my living room and attached them to the wall with Scotch tape, instantly transforming my living room into a kindergarten classroom that my 5-year-old would easily recognize. All right, so let's talk about this schedule. We kick the morning off with a hearty breakfast, after which we listen to and abide by the cleanup song, which actually isn't too hard to learn. You could learn it right now if you try. It goes like this.
Everybody clean up, clean up, clean up. Everybody clean up now.
After cleanup, we compensate for being shut up indoors by doing some exercise.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
At 8 o'clock sharp, we officially start the day with the Pledge of Allegiance, which is, frankly, adorable.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
For Ray, we do the recitation of our class promises, which is another way of calling the classroom rules, which were democratically elected by the kindergartners.
Listen to the teacher. Listen to the teacher. No fighting. No fighting. Raise your hand if you want to attack. No, you repeat after me.
And then for the sake of my 3-year-old, we abide by popsicle stick lottery to appoint jobs. The jobs in this household are snack helper,
Media manager,
table duty, and materials assist. Having completed those 3 routine tasks, we jump into reading skills for the day. For reading skills, KK can pick any one of the numerous library books that we picked up not too long ago. She always picks the same one, and Rachel can choose a book to read to us. I understand that by Wednesday, her teacher will be sending material for us to do at home. After that, we jump into science. So for science, so far each day I've shown a clip from a YouTube channel called Max Science, which I highly recommend.
Have you ever done a science experiment and wondered what it'd be like if you did it big? I have.
The host is wild and wacky and funny, and he presents scientific concepts and hypotheses. We pause the video, and I often ask my girls what they think will happen. Then we resume the video and we find out.
Let's test it. Okay, good idea. So here's the most important question. Do you want to
What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that he's going to be able to float in this tinfoil boat?
No,
No? Why not, Rachel?
because it gets heavier. It'll get heavier.
KK, why do you think he will float?
I think it'll actually float for a little bit and then sink.
Okay, let's find out.
Should I test?
test it or should I test it?
No, you test it.
Careful about how I get in. No, it's fine. See, if I just get in like that.
Still, are you okay?
But the thing I like most of all is every episode that I've watched so far includes some sort of science experiment that you can do at home. So we watch our clip early in the morning, and in the afternoon we have a period of time called discovery, during which we carry out one of the experiments from the video.
And here, you can be science maximites. Get some tinfoil and cut it into the same size pieces, and fold a couple different shapes of boats, and see which one can hold the most weight before sinking.
12! 13!
That's never gonna stop.
14! Yay! After science, we start to transition away from the guided time and into the self-guided time, starting with snack time. I am very happy I scheduled snack time into the day. I found that my kids, they carry these funnels around with them all day, and these funnels catch crankiness, and so the crankiness just accumulates and accumulates until it gets to this point where it's about to erupt, and the only way that you can suppress the crankiness is to provide the child with a snack. So snack time has been a lifeline for sanity. After snack time, we go into craft time. I give the kids some art supplies, and I sit on the sidelines working away. Full disclosure, while I was working during the craft hour, that was the time we encountered our first conflict. However, we followed it up with conflict resolution and marked our behavior on the behavior chart that my daughter is familiar with from school, and we moved on. In the end, everything turned out all right, and we ended up having a great day. But then after craft time, it's time to clean up again.
Everybody clean up, clean up, clean up.
After we've cleaned up indoors, I scheduled some time for recess. Now in my original schedule, I put in an hour and a half, and I found out that an hour and a half doesn't work out. Because just like my children carry around a funnel that catches crankiness, they also have another funnel that catches neediness. If I put them into one activity for too long, that neediness just accumulates, and then they come into the house and they start to get clingy. The way to suppress the neediness is to insert more transitions. So it accumulates, and then you transition to another activity, and then they're interested, and they get engaged. Figure out that new activity, and the neediness level subsides. So, hour and a half recess, thought I could get away with it, not gonna work. Gonna have to put in some kind of activity if I wanna get more work done. At 11:30, in line with my kids' normal lunch schedule, it's time for lunch. Lunch is 25 minutes long, and at 11:55 a.m., it's that time of day again.
Everybody clean up now.
At noon, we go into my favorite part of the day, math games. For math games, I use a resource that I've been telling people about for years, and I'm still very excited about it. It's a website called Math Pickle. Math Pickle is a collection of brain teasers, math games, puzzles that are assembled by a mathematician. They all inspire creativity and problem solving as opposed to exercises and drills. There are absolutely no like addition, subtraction flashcards. They are very creative and engaging puzzles. But the thing that really makes it useful is they're indexed in two ways. One by grade level and another by subject. I'll let my daughter explain what these math games are like.
Well, we're doing a math game, and we're seeing if there's going to be a pattern. So now I put one more because I'm done with this one, and this one says 441. So I'm going to write 441. Okay, now I'm the monster. I take away it. And I break the house into a tidier house. Mine is 333.
333, that hasn't happened before.
432. 432.
Got it?
432. 432. So early.
Where'd you go, KK?
Bye, Kaya.
And what do you got, KK?
I got one.
If that's interesting to you, I put a link to that as well in the description. At 12:30 p.m., it's time for nap time and quiet time. So I put my youngest daughter upstairs for a nap. My oldest daughter, she can read, she can play educational apps on her iPad. It gives me another chance to get done what I need to get done. Now, I have quiet time scheduled for about an hour, but I am flexible with the end time based on how hard my daughter is sleeping. At about 2:30, I get her up and we have another snack time. Gotta keep this cranky monster suppressed. And of course, this never makes me cranky. All right, post-production edit. It's the cleanup song again, right? We know the drill. I do the dance, I sing the song, boom. I'm not gonna put you through it again. I wish I could stop in real life. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury, so consider this a gift. Let's move on. And the last structured activity of the day is the discovery segment, which is where we follow up on the science video we watched earlier that day with a little activity. Now, I have scheduled myself to work during that time, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. So I usually don't work and I just do the discovery activity with my kids. I called it discovery though, because I'm planning on maybe buying some toys or anything that can kind of engage them for like that last little stretch before we break out into free time, which they are abundantly excited about having free time during the day, which is interesting because free time falls at 2:30, which is when the normal school day would end. So it's really just taking after school and calling it free time. And that makes it more exciting somehow, but I guess that makes sense because who doesn't like free stuff, right? I've got to say, scheduling the time like this has been helpful for all parties involved. Ray and Kay are totally into it to the extent that if I miss a segment in our schedule, Ray doesn't miss a beat to correct me. For my sake, the schedule gives me confidence that my time is well balanced. It makes me feel like both my children and my work are getting the time that they need in accordance with my priorities. When I put this video together, I did it with the intention of being both informative and entertaining. Swinging at everything here, hoping that I hit something. So if you got anything out of it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear what you're doing at home with the schools closing, and I'd especially like to hear what your schools are doing in your district. Please leave a comment. Hey, thanks for watching this video all the way to the end. If this is the first time you've seen me, my name is Ben, and this is a channel about innovation. This video is no exception. I look around on social media with the coronavirus thing happening, and the stuff that people are posting requires innovation and creativity just to keep from going insane. So if you're into that, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and I'll do my best to keep bringing more content like it. Thanks again for watching.